on the right-hand side is a zygus, okay? The zygus is going to branch off of SVC and go down into the thorax. I just want you to clear off a little bit for me. So just identify it for me, and that's on the right side only, okay? Everything else is going to be on the left. So once you go to the left, then you're going to be able to ID your thoracic aorta. Okay, there's going to be some fascia covering it, so you may have to just pick off a little bit of fascia. And then, what muscle is this? Diaphragm. So diaphragm is probably still going to be attached to the back body wall here. You're going to have to skin him off of a bit of the posterior aspect of the thorax. And in doing that, then you can start looking at abdominal aorta, and the first branching off of abdominal aorta is going to be your celiac trunk. Okay. Celiac trunk has the 3 branches, and the easiest one to find that goes to the spleen, which is a big dark structure here. Okay, very small on this cat. The spleens on cats can tend to be large. So this big branching here is called splenic. Okay, and splenic is going to branch into multiple little branches to feed the whole organ. So it's not going to be just 3 single branches, but here's the main branch, which means the other 2 here have to be hepatic and left gastric. Hepatic is going to go to the what?
Liver.
To the liver. So hepatic is liver, okay? And then just inferior to the liver is the stomach, all right? So the hepatic artery tends to dive posterior, okay? So it's going to dive back and then up towards the liver. And then left gastric is a little bit more superficial because the stomach is closer by. So hepatic, left gastric, splenic. Okay. Next in line, superior mesenteric. Superior mesenteric feeds the small intestine. So this is all small intestine, and you can see it branches into even more branches to feed. Right. And then after superior mesenteric is when you start looking for, what organ is this? Kidney. Yeah. Now above the kidney, on the cat here, on my cat, teeny tiny. It's like a little kidney bean. This is the adrenal gland, okay? Adrenolumbar vein usually goes directly over the organ. It's quite large. Adrenolumbar artery may not be as clear. So anything pink that is on the organ, I'm considering that adrenolumbar artery, if you can see it, okay? So that means that these 2 are what? Renal. What side of the body? Left. Okay, don't forget your lefts and rights. Okay, then going down a little bit further. What's this big blue one here, though? IVC. And this big red one?
Abdominal aorta.
Abdominal aorta. Okay, I have a girl. So girls are going to have fallopian tubes and a kidney bean here, ovary. Okay. So that means that this red branching off of abdominal aorta is ovarian artery on the left, and here's the right one coming over to the right side, okay? Now, typically there is a vein that follows. The vein may come off of IVC. It may have been right here. It may have come off renal and then come around and followed it. But for my purposes here, I can't really see an ovarian vein on my kitty. So we'll have to see if you guys can find an artery or vein. It might have been this that kind of comes around and follows, because usually they'll follow together. Okay, so that's ovarian. Then coming down a little bit further, feeding the large intestine. It's detached here, but this artery and this little stub here should make a connection. Okay, so you'll find a big branching coming off of abdominal aorta, feeding the large intestine. So here's large intestine going towards the anus. Here's the bladder. Okay, so this is inferior mesenteric, feeding the large intestine. And then right before you see the fork in the road are your deep ileal circumflex, which feed the muscles of the low back. So right and left, artery and vein combo. This branching up here, this is kind of an anomaly. I don't quite know where that's going, so that's not very typical. Okay, and then we get into the leg. So on the cat, IVC will make an initial split, left and right, and turns into what? Common iliac vein. okay? Then you have to look for the internal iliac right here that dives medially, okay? That means that common turns into external because internal is branching medially, okay? So that's external. You're going to have your belly here that's still a bit attached, so you're going to have to skin him off of the inside of the leg. Okay, and that exposes, this would be abdominal wall region right here. So external beyond the abdominal wall becomes what? Femoral, and then around the kneecap, saphenous. Okay. Now for the arterial side, we have abdominal aorta. First branching is called what? External iliac. Okay, then you have a bridge, and then it becomes internal iliac, left and right, and then going straight down the middle, median sacral. Now in my cat, it's not beautifully middle, but it should come straight off the middle typically. It's kind of hard to see. Actually it does, it's right there. So you can see them going straight down the middle. This is not part of it. It's right here. So that's median sacral. Okay, so then external iliac passes body wall and becomes femoral, okay? And then deep femoral, I said right along groin region, right here diving medially. So artery vein combination, deep femoral. Okay, and that's it. So let's start with Zygus on the right. So just get out a little bit of him, and then everything else we need to go to the left, skin the diaphragm back, and then start looking for celiac trunk.